Hello, my name is Pedja Jovanovic. I'm ICF Master Certified Coach and ICF Mentor Coach. And I prepared this program for you in order to help you to enhance your coaching skills. Usually as professional coaches and mentors, we don't have a possibility to share sessions with our real clients. And I agreed with some of my colleagues and some of my clients to record our sessions and mentor them and share them with you in exchange for my coaching. So in next period, you will have a possibility to hear some of these sessions where I will go into details of each question, each answer, and I really believe that it will be valuable for you if you're in the path of developing yourself as a professional coach. First session is with one of my friends and colleagues and clients. So far we had one session. This is our second session. And I will start with the recording and then I will make comments on each of my questions and clients' answers. So let's go with the session.
Hello, Alexander, and thank you for joining our second session.
Thank you, Pedja, of course.
So we had a first session around 2 weeks ago, and I wonder what happened in the real world since then.
Actually,
just to make one comment at the very beginning, in general, this is a good way to start a session to check what happened in the real life. As a client starts to explain the things, what works well, what doesn't work well, the topic will emerge, or the topic that client brought in a session will shift a little bit. Usually, like while you are going through the details of previous, what happened in between two sessions, something changes in a client's perception of the situation that client brought to this particular session. Usually I put a timeline, I put a present moment like now, whatever is the present date. Why I do this? Because, like I would like to put client's attention on the future from present moment to in this direction. Also, this is good indicator and help for me so that each time when client goes in past that I don't put so much attention on those things, and especially it helps me personally to keep my focus on future and ask future-oriented questions.
Nothing special regarding what we conclude at the session. I remember what we agree about A0 format with everything written on it. So I have A0 format anyhow. I bought it and put it on the wall, but I didn't feel it correctly. So let's say I started to do something, and afterwards different tasks, different obligations, and different activities regarding that. So let's say I'm here. I'm, let's say, satisfied, because satisfied, which means that I had, let's say, okay period on my regular job and some good achievements. Also, I'm preparing for a little bit seaside, so I'm happy because of that. So I'm okay.
Okay, so what you could hear here, that client shared some content, what happened in real life. And there was nothing about future. If I would put a timeline, his attention in his answer was really past-oriented. Some positive things in general with these details that he shared, he feels good. So everything is okay, as he said. So this is what we got in the first question, in the first answer. So let's see what it was my next question.
And since if it is okay for you to challenge you a little bit around what you just said.
Mm-hmm.
So it seems that what we
very good. So session still didn't start it. It's just we're building rapport. It's a beginning, and I'm asking for permission. This is one of the rare situation in coaching where we ask close question. If it is okay with you to challenge a little bit your way of thinking, and I get this permission. So let's hear what was the question.
What you were talking about this action steps that basically it's not really truly important for you.
Mm-hmm.
I cannot judge if they are important, but I didn't finish it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. What I did here, client in previous session committed to some action steps. So there were action step 1, action step 2, some action steps, and he said in our previous session, these action steps are really important. And now at the beginning of our next session, he says that actually he didn't have time to do it, so that he allocated his time to do some other things. So I'm challenging his way of thinking about the previous about the action steps that he defined for himself. So is this really important? Is this really relevant? And you've heard the answer. And of course, there is no conclusion. Be aware of that. Like, so we just challenge. We don't conclude. We just open. Whatever client brings, we open things. We don't make any kind of conclusions with this.
So you were doing something else that it was more important, I assume.
Very good. Very good. So there was something that he defined in our previous session that was quite important. But then it didn't happen in real life. One of these things that he mentioned, what happened is something else. And I'm checking if these things that he defined in our previous session are really important, or there is something that is even more important than that. So what is really important here? And you know, like these type of questions are really good because they're stretching our clients, and especially if we have rapport, if we have a good connection with our clients, this is like a little push outside of a comfort zone. Still, be aware that we didn't start with a session. We are just in the exploration phase, beginning phase, establishing rapport, and then other phases of session will come soon.
Let's say, yes, I did something else. I didn't do my tasks and action steps. So I put a question mark on importance on that.
So what would you say around this topic if we invested our energy and time in a session, and as a really valuable result of that session there were some specific action steps, and now as you said, like simply like not all of these things were actually happen. So what is your comment on this?
Very good. So I'm actually inviting client to give his opinion about what really happened here. And my experience is that especially in business coaching, you will have lots of situations like this. Clients will define some action steps, and then like things just happen. They're burning things, burning issues. Things are changing, and often it happens that a client doesn't just, I don't know. It happens that in next session the client says just I didn't have time. There was something more important, and so on. So our job is actually to check these things before we start with the new session, and really to ensure that we are allocating our time on the most important topics, and not just to I don't know, do the things because we have a scheduled session. No matter who is paying this session, the real value for a client is to get the clarity about what's really important and what is it that client wants to achieve in this particular session. So challenging the thing that action steps didn't happen is a really good thing.
I'm not satisfied because of that.
Mm.
I'm not satisfied, and I was aware of that, yesterday evening when I realized that I didn't do this, and start thinking also why. And now I'm thinking why, and maybe it was not a proper strategy or whatever to get what I want.
Mm-hmm.
Even if it looks like that on the last session and in my own thoughts, but it could be that it's not what I need.
Okay, and basically there is no conclusion. It's just client is not sure. The model of conscious and unconscious mind. So client feels that there is something around this topic, but cognitively client cannot say anything. So basically, the answer here is I don't know. My goal is not here to get into any kind of blame and shame mode and really make my client feel bad about these things. It was a question, what is the comment? And there is no conclusion. Okay, we can proceed with future. So let's see what was next question.
And if I can ask you, so you allocated your time and energy to some different activities, in this period.
Yeah.
And basically those other things brought you some value. There was something valuable why you allocated your time and energy to these other activities.
Yes, but it was not any.
Okay. So here, what I'm doing and putting now his attention on what he said, these action steps that really happen, and basically there is a value behind it. So whatever, if we open and we get a clarity about what was the value about what happened in a near future, this value can be transferred to present moment and even to the future. However, I don't know what will be the answer, so I'm just checking where are we with what really happened and what is really truly important. And one more important thing, be aware that this is a barter between me and my colleague, because I offered him a free session in order for possibility to record it. So there is no free session. The worst thing is that this session turns into he's making a favor to me. And this type of dynamics you can find a lot in managerial coaching, where you as a manager work with your team member, and then the question is, who is doing a favor to whom? If you are coaching your team members, it might look like that they're giving a favor to you because they're answering your questions, but this is a relationship between two equal people, and we need to be aware all the time that whatever that both sides are putting, in equal amount of energy on the table when it comes to coaching relationships. So I'm just trying to establish a value for our work here.
Unusual activities, so I spend my time unusual way, on my job, with my girlfriend, with my kids,
and what is the value behind that? Mm-hmm. What is the value behind spending time in usual way?
Okay, great. Very nice question. Opening the topic around values, it's always valuable, especially if a person can assess that thing inside of himself and really get the clarity. So even before we started with what is the topic that client brings here, I'm checking if we can assess what's the value behind, what's really truly important for him in whatever he was doing in a real life in a last couple of weeks between two sessions.
Mm-hmm.
Good question.
I feeling that there is something which I should do or I must do. Let's say, like this is my job, of course, and also other things. It's not mandatory for me, but I choose to do, to spend time with my kids and with my girlfriend. I didn't have a feeling that I'm losing something, but at the end, actually, it was not matter of time that I didn't have time to do my tasks. I had time for that. I had time which I didn't use for that. So maybe all free time I spend, watching movies or doing nothing or reading something, but I didn't do what I promised you to that I will do it last time.
And to that time, as you said, you allocated your
story. This is very nice construction. I promise you. And in coaching, client cannot promise us. I mean, we are just a partner here. A client should promise himself. So even like on unconscious level, client is expressing that it was not promised to himself, it was promised to me. And again, this is the indicator that the client is somewhere between real client and a visitor, because like a real client makes promises to himself, herself, and the visitors are making promises to others. So this is just a one indicator. Based on one indicator, I cannot conclude anything, but it's interesting construction. I promised you instead of I promised myself.
Time to reading, watching movies, doing different activities. What is it that you gain for yourself?
Okay, nice question. So I'm again asking the same value question in a different way. What it is that you got for yourself? So it's basically the same question. Why this is important for you?
I don't actually. I don't have a feeling that I gain anything. I have a strong feeling that I just. It's not easy. It's easy for me to say, yeah, I'm losing time in these activities. And somehow it's easier. Somehow it's easier to do something like that than structurize everything else.
And what is it that you are gaining through this strategy of losing time, if I can name it like that?
Great. Very nice. This is a good indicator of listening. It's a good listening because client is describing a strategy, losing time. I'm losing, I'm gaining time. I create benefit. This is like a not successful strategies. And I heard it, and then I'm asking again for the third time, what is the value behind? Because even if we do some things that we are not happy with, still there is a benefit for ourselves. There is something good. There is some positive intention behind whatever we do. So it's a good indicator and a good coach position, because I'm repeating the same question for the third time or fourth.
Nothing special.
And
nothing special.
Yes, and the client cannot find the answer, because answer is here, somewhere in unconscious mind. But currently, client cannot find the answer. Client says nothing special. So I don't know. Currently, I don't know.
There is a nothing special, obviously. But if you take some time, a few moments, and just look inside of yourself and just check through this strategy, if I can call it like that, of losing time, there is most probably some secondary benefit that you get for yourself.
Okay. This session was quite a while ago, so I respect my stability and being in a coach position and basically repeating the same question. So please be aware that we are just now starting the session. We are connecting what happened in the real life with what we will do today, what client is bringing in today's session. And then since action steps didn't happen, I'm trying to support my client to understand what is the value behind the things that client actually did. So let's hear the answer.
Secondary benefit, yeah. What can be the secondary benefit?
Difficult question.
Maybe spend some time on something which is, let's say, entertainment, or during this losing time period, I should not do anything special and just wait for something else.
And with
I don't know exactly.
With not doing things. So
yeah, so still I don't know. Client cannot find the answer. The answer is here, entertainment, so that the fun can be valued. He didn't say it, like I wrote now fun, but I hear that behind, what is behind entertainment? I'm still keeping the coach position and asking the same question.
You don't do anything special, if I can name it, not doing things.
Yeah, it could be that, I maybe not pretend, but trick my mind with reading something, that I'm working on something useful. And okay, it can be useful, but not crucially useful. And also to not, maybe I'm cheating my mind that I'm not losing the time doing that. That okay, from time to time it's okay to watch some TV show or movie or sport or read some book or whatever, but this is not crucial. This is not have a crucial value for me. It's just probably cheat my mind.
And what is the learning that you got for yourself?
Okay, so after a while, like this is 4th or 5th time I'm inviting client to dive to find the answer why, what is there for him, but basically there is no answer. So I'm slowly leaving and moving into the session with a very nice question: what is the learning? So the past should be always a resource for us, and we get some learning from what happened in past. So it's a good question, and slowly we should move into this direction. So there is some learning, and then we will start with basically a session, like a 5 minutes of checking what happened in the real life. These things you can do in through emails. You can ask these questions. You can ask your client to send you an email with the answer. With answers on such a question, so what happened in the real life, or you can allocate 5, 6, 7, 10 minutes just to check what happened in the real world. And this is a moment after the answer, what is the learning? We start with this particular session. This is a connection between 2 sessions.
Through the last 2 weeks.
Regarding what was the tasks last session, I'm learning that most probably that it could be that I don't have a clear goal what I would like to achieve and when. Regarding my second life or new business or coaching business. So I thought that it will be useful to reconsider, not reconsider, but yeah, reconsider everything and to discover what I really want to achieve and when and how, etc., etc.
So what do you want to achieve?
Like last.
What is nice here? This question, what do I want to achieve, is slowly client moves into the future, and like I just use his question. I mean, it's maybe not a typical beginning of a session, but if question came from your client, just use it. So what do you want? Client says, what do I want to achieve? It's a question for me. So you just reflect back the same question. So what do you want? Not very nice.
I want to achieve, I want to be a coach. I want to work in this area, as we spoke before, in educational area, training, whatever. And I want to do that. So I feel like I'm missing some part and the structure, and I start thinking if it could be because I should first feel in which direction I should put my efforts, and maybe that can help to really put an effort.
Okay, and then like if you
what we have here is slowly client's focus moves from his past to the future, and I would say that this is a moment from this session. Basically, this from this moment, this session begins. So this is from this question. I shouldn't go back in past anymore. It was just connection. What happened between two sessions, and now we move into the future. Client said that through time, client would like to become a coach or something that is in the educational area, and he mentioned here direction. If he would have a clear direction, then the action steps would follow
it. Well, you will pick direction one way or another. It will happen to direction. Most probably it is already there, and just you need to discover what is this direction that you already are on. And just for my clarity, on the long run, like how you perceive yourself, if you can just put attention there for a few moments.
Okay, great. So what this question here? So what is happening in future through time? And I use this abstract term on the long run. What does it mean on the long run? Can mean different things to different people. But before we start with direction and exploring near future, I'm inviting my client to really get the basic inspiration about where he would like to be through time. And then from this perspective, we should look back and decide and go for comfort.
How I can perceive myself in the long run, yeah.
Difficult question.
Like a helper.
Mm-hmm. Okay, this is a metaphor.
Someone who help other people to improve their lives and live from that.
Making some money.
I want to be. I want that to be my main occupation. But I probably still don't know exactly how to achieve it.
Okay.
And because of that, some level of maybe fear generates, and uncertainty, and lack of self-confidence, and I don't know, everything, probably mix of everything.
Perfect.
And if you think about yourself.
Okay, so look like the answer, like the question was where you would like to be through time. And then there is several, first part of a sentence, I perceive myself as a helper, this would be my profession, I would make a living out of it, and slowly he moves back into I don't know how, and because I don't know how, and he starts to describe what I call the cloud. And I feel some kind of tension, fear, I don't feel good about it, and starts with some internal complaints around this topic. So what is my goal here? Should I explore the cloud? Of course not. So we finished our task with exploration of past, like it was just a connection between two sessions, and now we should keep the focus on future. But here you could observe that in one sentence the answer was in this domain here, in this domain here, and in this domain here, and basically client move back in cloud. So just if you listen carefully, you could hear it, and then your goal is, especially in this first part of a session, to keep still his attention here to the future.
As helper through time.
Mm-hmm.
And that this is your main occupation, as you said. What is your feeling? Like, are you more like working in some system, or you're a more freelancer, or you're more like building your own company? So, what is the feeling that it is in front of you through time?
Okay, so this is an interesting question. Why? I'm asking about feeling. What is your feeling right now about your future? And feelings are basically our unconscious mind talks to us through metaphors, through our dreams, through some stupid mistakes that we make while talking, and through feelings. Our unconscious mind controls our feelings. We cannot feel happy like cognitively. I decided I'm happy today. So I'm asking him, like, basically, what is your unconscious mind? What is the message from your unconscious mind about this particular topic? And I'm doing it in very nice, soft way. And when I give him options here, this is what we call in Ericsson Coaching International a Chinese menu. What Chinese menu means? I give the options, lots of options, where I basically cover everything. So if I said, well, will you be part of a system? Will you be a freelancer? You will build your own system? Basically, these are like all the options. So I can work as a part of a system. I can be freelancer, or I can have my own system. There is not fourth option. So basically, I'm covering all the things, and I'm giving him now possibility to find his own way. Maybe it will be a mixture of these things, but I would like him to really give more intuitive answer about what is it in front of him. This is why I'm insisting on feeling. What do you feel around this?
You know, to be honest, I always perceive myself as a member of the team.
Mm-hmm.
Member of the team, yeah.
So it's a clear for him. There is a team, and he's a part of a bigger whole. There are some other people here as well. Okay.
I always perceive myself, because I always think that it's not possible that everybody can be the boss and the freelancer or whatever. But that was, let's say, my beliefs from a long period of time. But when I opened this niche, this area, coaching, education, whatever, then I start thinking about myself that I can do it by myself. But also when I start thinking about, yes, I'm the owner of the business, I'm not fully satisfied at the moment. I would like to, it's much lighter, let's say it's much lighter and colorful picture me as a part of a team of the similar thinking people and working together on the main goals. So it's, let's say, if you speak about, I prefer, let's say, 70-30%. Or maybe even 80-20, but actually, if it's 70-30, it was 100-0 several years ago. That now it's this percentage that I can do it something by myself. So most probably combination will be most satisfied for me.
Perfect. Look,
and when you say combination, so
this is now very interesting. When I did this Chinese menu offering possibility where they basically I'm covering all possibilities, so it's none of above. For me, what works is combination. This is his answer.
If you can just few more words though.
I will explain. You know, combination, which means that I'm.
And now, because combination is abstract word, and I'm not asking him what combination for you means in terms in past, but can you please give me some more details about combination in future? So now something more specific. So let's hear what the answer is.
I'm a part of some other company or, you know, some team and work as a, let's say, employee, and also that I have some part of my business which I can handle by myself. For example, you know, I can be the personal coach or whatever, and that can be, you know, independent on any company, but also I have my major work in some company or something like that.
This is very, very interesting because now client comes with some idea, which is the mixture of different things, and what is happening in his life right now. Actually, it's exactly that thing. He achieved being a part of a company as a professional and actually having a part-time job as someone who's helper working and supporting others to grow.
And this type of setting, what will it bring to you?
Nice value-based question. So what it is for you?
Professional satisfaction.
So this is not value.
I think joy of work, really. And also I hope maybe not on the third place, but anyhow in a very highly positioned, this financial stability.
So basically not
I thought about that, you know.
So far there are no value words, especially in these B-type values, being values. This is something that is valuable, but they're not values. More like financial stability is like a strategy that I will gain through this type of result, this result.
Several evenings ago, few days ago, that I realized that if have settled, for example, next year or 2 years, that I should not think about money. I will be able to leave this job and to put everything I have in this second part. I thought about that, so I asked myself a question: what you should do if you have enough money for 2 years of living without any, you know, without problems? Then I will probably be more braver to go into another direction. Now it's for me it's obvious that I cannot do that suddenly, but I'm working on that. I'm trying to figure how.
And if we put attention on this in today's session.
Very nice. Okay, and this was a phase of exploration. So beginning of a session, we a little bit explore, expand, got a basic inspiration that the client would like to be through time helper, that his profession will be combination of being in helping business plus his own profession, that this thing will bring him some additional income, and that he will be part of a group who are who have a similar way of thinking, similar people to himself. And this is something that client would like to get through time. And now I'm going for the contract. So if we put attention now to today's session, so what is a really valuable outcome for you of our time together? So please, question about best possible outcomes. Ask after client really gets the idea of the, or at least I guess get the idea of either specific outcome or direction that really motivates him or her. And then we can talk about what is really the best possible of today's session.
What would be a really valuable result of our time together today?
Possible.
Maybe to define the, let's say, coaching niche or some area of coaching for which where I will be most efficient and, let's say, most satisfied in order to put some specific goals, how to approach to become that. I don't know if it's clear enough. For me, it's also not clear enough.
So what would you say the clarity about what you want on the scale from 1 to 10 varies right now?
Okay, scaling as a technique, because he said I'm not clear what I want. So okay, I'm not really clear. So let's hear. So where are you right now with clarity? What you really want?
Very low. Let's try to make it more clear. So I would like to decide between, let's say, corporate and executive coach. So to offer my services to companies and to business world, or to be focused on a, let's say, life coach or personal coach for, I know, different target groups of people. Is it clear or not?
Yeah. To me, so it's clear. Like to
decide between these two areas. So, and when I put it like that, I immediately have an answer.
So what's the answer?
The answer is that I should.
This is also very nice. I have the answer and directly. So what is the answer? So and the client says, okay, for I want a niche, and more specifically, I want to decide between these two, and I have the answer. So what is the answer? So just, you know, like don't overcoach. You know, like sometimes just be you can if you hear that the client says, well, it's either or, and I have the answer. So just ask directly. No need to really make things more complicated than they really are. I mean, most of the things are quite simple.
Go into direction of executive and business coaching.
Why?
And I have a lot of reasons. Yeah, I have a lot of reasons. One of them is anyhow that I'm from business area, so I know a lot of people from this area already. Also, it's a higher chance that these.
Okay, now with these answers, client is a little bit going into past, but I'm not so much interested in it. I'm trying to see what it is from his how it is related to his future.
Population will understand much better what is coaching and what they can solve. Also, this is a bunch of people which already put a lot in their own education, even by themselves or forced by companies. I'm also the sales guy, which can combine my other skills and the sales trainings and whatever and experience at the end, so that I can offer a little bit more or much more than it's coaching only. Also, I'm leading a team and already practice with my team how to solve something, and etc., etc., etc. Again, at the end, you know, money is on their side much more than in the other side.
So it seems that the decision is already there.
Yeah, exactly. You know, I thought about this when I.
Yeah, so it's very interesting. Like client brings a topic, and the decision is there. So what we will do today if you already have your decision.
When I thought about this morning, what will be the topic? I said, okay, let's try to discover that, and just like now, you know, a lot of answers appear immediately.
Mm.
And yesterday I had, this one session with a lady which was, life coaching area, and I'm also okay with that. But for example, I realized in this stage of my development, I will work with anyone on any topics. You know, I think that it's okay to practice. You know, to see what it can be, what problems, but also I think that I should plan my activities in self-promotion or whatever towards the corporate coaching.
Mm-hmm.
And it's very interesting.
And if you
the question is, what are we going to do today? So exploration was nice. Asking for contract was good in the right moment. However, we don't have a contract. With each question, the clarity comes like really quickly, or client already knows these things. So still, the question is, what are we going to do today? Why we are here? And it's very relevant question.
If we just look back to today's our conversation and this day, as you said, like this morning and today you started with this topic of where to go and what will be your niche. You're getting the clarity, but actually the clarity was already there. So you immediately gave the answer. So what is the learning here for yourself?
Mm-hmm. Nice.
What is
nice question. So since you brought this thing, you brought the something topic or whatever, you are in this session, and then whatever we do, like the clarity is here. So what's learning? What are you getting for yourself out of what we are currently doing?
Learning, which I already know. Yeah, this is my direction, and I should do everything to go into that direction. Anyhow, work with some company or try to achieve my clients by myself, or anyhow.
So if we have this big image, that through time, you see yourself as a member.
Sorry. Look how the image is slowly created. He set direction. We went into this exploration. He really got the clarity about niche. I mean, it was there. Now he's going back to, this is my direction. I mean, this came from him at the very beginning of exploration of future. And now I'm again connecting dots for him. Everything that we are currently talking about is came out from him.
Of a team, like 70 to 80%, and someone who is professionally satisfied, and there is a financial stability, and then there is this direction towards corporate world where you can combine all these activities that you like to do currently, and plus your all professional background and leading a team and experience in sales. So this is a part of a big image. So what it is that we will discuss today, where we go from here. We have another 10 minutes of our time together.
Perfect. Look, there is a simple rule. No contract, no coaching. It was nice exploration. I asked for a contract. Client comes out with some ideas, but there is immediate clarity. No problem. So this is what we have here. What is the learning? This is what you learn for yourself. I connect dots for him. It's my direction. This is where he would like to go. So, okay. So how we will spend our time then today? I mean, why I'm here. So we need to have a contract in order to proceed with coaching.
No, it's looking quite nice for me, quite satisfying. So I would like to, I don't know. I would like to. I don't know what I would like up to the end of this session, because it appeared that the topic was not topic at all. But actually, yes, it was topic. But I am sure that I have proper answers.
Mm-hmm.
And
sometimes it will be exactly like this. So through small exploration, through keeping client's direction towards future, to invite client to get his learnings out of whatever happened in his life, the clarity will come faster than our client will expect. But still, we cannot continue with coaching without a contract. So we can just say, okay, let's go for a drink or whatever. I mean, in order to proceed with coaching, we need to have a contract.
It should be. I should put all focus on that. How to achieve it and what I should do first. And there is a lot of question about that again, but you know, it's maybe it's maybe not for now, or I don't know.
And if I can ask you, so you said that this is something that sounds good and the image looks good, and this is something that you should put all your focus how to achieve it. And if you confront this, what you just said, with your not doing things strategy or losing time strategy, so how these two things fit together? There is a
perfect, very nice. I mean, still, like, we're in this new exploration, and again, at the beginning of our session, he said that currently he has this strategy of I'm losing my time. And if you want to get here and in a present moment or near past, you just mentioned that you are losing your time. In what way these two things are connected or how they fit together? This is again a good indicator of listening, connecting dots from our clients and putting everything in front of him for his own conclusions.
Impossible. It does not fit at all. Does not fit at all. Yeah. So probably I need to really sit down and think and reconsider everything what I do, and finally quit with something which I should not do and start doing something which is, you know, mandatory to be done. So I know deep in, not deep, but it's on surface. I know that this is the way, but you know, I should find something to finally move me forward.
And what
like I spoke about that before.
And if you say you said quitting, so what are the three things that are like from the top of your head, like that you would quit, or you should quit, or you will quit, or you want to quit?
Actually, this, what we call it, losing time, you know, and I personally know what is losing time. So watching a movie when you are very satisfied with your day and with every other activities is very desirable and nice, and I like it. And also reading a book and also drinking a beer, everything is needed and I like it and I will continue to do it. So it's just, I should quit with replacing things, replacing time in which I should do something useful, which I planned, with something which is just when I just pretending that I do something useful. Yeah, this is it, you know.
Example.
Okay, so still we're in this connecting dots. He said that he would like to quit things, and you know, like basically there is a strategy that most probably you all already know, or if you don't know, you can find it at the internet. It's very simple. Stop, start, continue. So this sounds very close to what he is saying. This is what I will stop doing. This is something that I start doing, and this is something that I can continue. However, we need to be aware that still we don't have a contract here. So it's basically like just connecting the things. This is where we were. This is where you would like to go. If we connect these two things, so how they fit together. And client is currently talking about this list of the things that he should stop doing. And
for example,
I'm asking to be specific because he's quite abstract here. So can you give me some specific details?
I should have a detailed plan. Yeah, I should follow a detailed plan on what I should do by the day, week, or month, and I can do whatever I want when I finish my plan. And you know, I just should force myself. I should achieve that I'm finishing everything that is in my mind. I have a lot of things in my mind which I can and should do, and without some proper plan, it's somehow always procrastinated.
I hear the word you say, force yourself.
I have a feeling that
direct communication. So I'm just putting in front of my client what I heard. Forcing myself is an interesting statement. And I didn't make any comment on that statement. I just say, I hear you saying this. And then client continues with explanation of further connections.
Must put a lot of effort to force to achieve something, which is probably true, you know.
I agree. Like you can use force for many things. And what might be other ways how you can proceed with this project?
Okay, great. So force is one way, and what might be some other ways to continue? So what else is a question?
To make some decisions that I will do this and that, and most probably I should start from something small and build on that, because I know how it works, you know, and it works also for me from time to time. But in this period, it simply does not work yet. But I'm sure that it will work. I always know that I can achieve whatever I want, you know. And I done it before, so now I am again, you know, in some I don't know, some in the position, in a situation that I cannot achieve everything what I want. So most probably prioritization, focus on only one by one things and finish it finally. You know, it's very important to finish something. I started a lot, but a lot of things remain unfinished. So I think the goal will be, for example, made a weekly plan, what I should finish this week, not just started and work on, but finished, no matter how small it is or how big it is. It's important that it can be done, it can be achievable during this, I don't know, some scrum period, let's say, because in one sprint. I'm learning about Scrum these days, so I don't know if you know that. So I speak in sprints.
So what will you gain for you? What will you gain for yourself through successfully finishing these sprints?
Feeling that I'm moving forward. Proved feeling, proof that I'm moving forward. And I look back after the sprints, I can say, okay, I finished this, and this.
And with this proof, what it is that you will have to happen next when you get this proof?
I will build self-confidence in that case, that I can finish what I plan. Okay, I'm not afraid even to fail or to, not fail, but maybe I will finish something which I don't need. But at the moment when I plan it, I don't think so. So which will help me not to plan such things in the future sprints.
And just one more thing, like I would like to go to this ideal outcome through time, where you're a helper and your team member.
I will stop here. The question, what is it, the gain that you will get in terms of, it can be in terms of value, but he said that I will get self-confidence in terms of strategy or capability or competence. And then, you know, this is something that is more connected to some closer future. So basically in this image in front of you, this part should be somewhere here in more near future. And then I again go back to his inspiration, this story about his being helper, being professional, something where he has a combination of working with others plus being part of a team, so that I can help him to connect dots. What is, in what way, whatever he wants to achieve in near future is related to something that he would like to get for himself in I don't want to say far future, but somewhere further in time.
And you're 70 to 80% part of a team where you have a professional satisfaction and financial stability. If this would be something that is just around the corner, you don't need extra time, you don't need long time, you don't need I don't know. So what are the things that are coming to your mind, like how you can really like step into that future, like really quickly?
Okay, great.
How I can step really?
Question. We got some description about stop, start, continue strategy, and then I connect. Okay, in what way, whatever you are currently talking about is related to this desired best possible outcome. Again, it can be some kind of specific outcome that he can get in this particular session in next couple of minutes until the end, or it can be something that he can achieve outside of the session. So let's hear the answer.
Quickly, or how I feel about that?
Yeah, how you can step there, how like just from the top of your head, like what it is that, what if it is just there, just around the corner, I don't know.
Okay, if it's, I will be ready for that.
It's interesting question, because I'm avoiding questions what you can do about it. So what is there? Like I'm asking abstract question from the top of your head, meaning intuitively, what is it, how you feel about what is already there. Again, we can come up with something specific that client will achieve in the next, I don't know, 5 minutes or 5 days, but somewhere in the near future. Again, I'm looking for contract at least or short-term result.
I don't know. I'm ready for that. I will accept. I will. I don't know. I will be satisfied. I'm not sure exactly what you asked me, but okay, if it's okay, you know, yeah, I will be happy with that opportunity.
Yeah, and I'm asking a question, a quite abstract question, so that he can give a meaning to this question by himself.
How you can recognize it, that it is there? Maybe it is there, maybe it is in front of you, maybe it is 2 steps ahead, maybe there are 20 steps, maybe at 3 kilometers, maybe 100 miles. Which is the question is how you will recognize it.
Okay, interesting. Again, Chinese menu, giving options where we cover everything from 2 steps in front of you to 100 miles ahead. But how you will recognize that what you want is already there. This is a good contracting question, how you would also know that at the end of our time together, you will get your best possible outcome. I mean, it's a contracting question. In this particular case, so we still don't have a contract. We are just connecting dots, but I'm trying to get at least something tangible. And of course, we need to be aware that the client is a client and with the elements of visitor, because he's doing a favor to me. He's giving me I'm coaching him in how to say as a barter, so that I can mentor myself later and actually upload this session online so that you can hear it.
Good question. Yeah, I don't know. At the moment, I don't know. Yeah, maybe I should think about it.
And this is really good, because client cannot find the answer. Answer is hidden. Where is hidden? Somewhere here. So here is the answer. So in this session, we have lots of I don't knows. So it means that there is something important, but currently I cannot recognize. And client was on this path, and then like through time, a year later, he actually achieved it. So it's interesting. He sensed it that it is in front of him. So right now he's somewhere here, where he wanted to be.
How to recognize and take the opportunity. Definitely, I should think about that. Yeah, definitely, I should think about that. So, actually, your question was a perfect question. Actually, perfect question. I really don't know how I will recognize that it's there. Maybe it's there and I cannot see it.
Okay. So since we're slowly coming back to the end of our time together, I will just summarize what we did today. We started...
Okay, this is now interesting. This session was actually without contract. I don't know, like, you know, I asked, client was not ready to contract, client got some, get some value for himself, but basically there was not clear contract. And we spend our time, there is no more time. So we are slowly closing the session. And I'm now summarizing what happened actually here, what client got for himself.
With what happened in between these two sessions. And then we touched a little bit future. I don't want to say far, but the future where you are a helper and a team member, where you have this professional satisfaction and financial stability, and this is the direction. And then we moved into coaching niche, or like what it is that you would like to, where to put your efforts. And for you, it's obvious that it is like corporate and world and executive coaching. And then we talked a little bit about putting all your focus and how to achieve it in this direction. At some point needs to confront this strategy of not doing things or losing time strategy. Like, I mean, not losing time, but like as a, how to say, way of behavior that you're not always happy with it. And you said that definitely you will keep watching movies, reading books, and having beer because you like it. But at the same time, you need to stay with your detailed plan and your decision when you say that you will do something you do with things. And that maybe finishing things is something that is really important, that will give you a proof that you're on the right track and that influences your self-confidence.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you, what is the value that you got for yourself in this session?
Actually, this last question was really, for me, was good. to see around and to see the opportunities, and it's also connected with that how I see opportunity to become what I want. Maybe I didn't talk about that, didn't think about that enough. So I will definitely do it. And also the value is that, I actually review whatever, and I know that I should be focused on this business coaching area and see the opportunities in that area, not think about anything else in this moment, of course. Yeah, it was okay.
And what might be some specific...
Interesting deep breath at the end. It was okay. Yeah.
Things that you can do in next days in order to really put in the real...
Okay, now we put some action steps at the end.
Like this experience that you got for yourself in our session.
Actually, I will try to do in the next 10 days or something like that. A lot of thinking about that, and I will really try to put it on paper or not in some form. So I'm going to holiday. So I don't know if it's maybe okay not to think at all or think a lot during the holiday. Probably the good idea is not to think, not to be. I don't know. I will use time to relax and to...
I like this session because there was lots of I don't know. Meaning client is really, there is something, and I would like to, I feel that there is something, but currently I don't know, I don't see. So client is sensing that there is something ahead, something in front of him, but simply like he's doing his best, but he cannot give the answer. And that's the thing, that client is not responsible to give us the answer on a question that we ask. So yes, I want to have a contract, no coaching. But if client cannot confirm how exactly he will recognize that he is moving into right direction, I cannot force him. I continue with the session and I'm closing the session. However, in this session, there was no contract. This is very important to underline. And sometimes in the real life, it will happen.
Make some strategy for when I come back. I will try to follow some strategies. So it's for me now, it's really not so easy to obligate something because of my holiday. So, but let's speak about a week after the holiday. Hey, soon enough. So I will try to define myself and to do some planning in the week after 8th of July, when I come back from the holiday.
Okay. So I wish you a good holiday. Recharge, take a rest.
Maybe that is needed after a really tough year behind me. So,
and we can connect to our third session after you come back from the holiday.
Yeah, wherever you want.
So thank you very much, and we will keep in touch.
Thanks, Pedja. Bye.
Okay, so very interesting session. Actually, it happened almost a year ago. And as I already shared with you, client actually achieved this result, professionally. He's a part of the team, and as this 70-30 or 80-20, and he's a part of another team, and he's a helper, and he has this combination. He found his direction in months to come, and I wanted to share this session with you because it shows that this rule that we have no contract, no coaching. Yes, I mean from ICF point of view, from ICF standards, we need to have a confirmation, client's confirmation of what is his idea of success. And in this session, client is really trying his best to come out with his idea of success. And basically this question that came at the end, how I will recognizing, this is the contracting question, how you will know that you are getting into right direction. And he says, well, I don't know how well I know, I need to think about it. So, okay, this question stayed open. What was good in this session is connecting with what happened in the real life. I really kept my coach position here very firmly. I didn't, I asked a value question like a couple of times, 4 or 5 times in a different ways. And there was, I don't know, very interesting. I really confront the thing that action steps didn't happen in real life. This is what you will see a lot in business coaching, especially if you're an internal coach or if you work with people who are part of a project, who are not who are sent to coaching. Sometimes you have such clients, and then they commit to some action steps, and then these action steps don't happen. So please confront it. And what was good here, I asked for permission. Is it okay? Will it be okay for you? And after this first exploration of approximately 10 minutes, we enter the session, and I asked for what was the learning here. And from that moment, I kept his attention to future. And then we got some indicators, some basic inspiration. And then when I asked for a contract, the contract was defining the coaching niche, but basically the decision was already there. And yeah, we came to a position where like we already have the results, and then there is no contract. And then this was also quite good thing because he said that he has this strategy of losing time. And I said, well, if you have this strategy right now, in what way it is related to you being a part of this team of similar thinking people and all these things here. And then there were some insights. Start, stop, continue. It came out from him. This I would like to define something that I should stop doing and something that I should start. So some elements, some new strategies. And again, he talked here about proof. And look, proof is here. Proof is how you will recognize. Again, it's a proof. So altogether, very interesting session. I mean, it's not fully something that like an ideal session, because contract is simply not there. But besides that, I think that there is lots of very useful elements here. And also, like what is really important, that client really a year later achieved his best possible outcome. So this would be it for today or tonight. If you like this session, this mentoring process, self-mentoring process, so let me know, and then I will prepare more sessions for you. Thank you for watching my video, and we will keep in touch.